Hey guys, David here. Welcome to Herbie's Reef. Today we're working on finishing up the aquascape video for the main display, but until we do, I thought I'd take a quick video of this torch tank and how it's coming along. I think we're finally getting the flow adjusted just right. It's crazy, but to get these torches blowing the way you want, it just takes so many pumps. This tank we actually have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pumps going. And it's not because we need so much power for flow, it's more just to get all the directions going. Because we have 2 Nero 3s, which I'm not a huge fan of, to be honest. I don't love the way they push water. And then we have this Jabo up here, and we've got this Tunzi here, and then we have an MP10 down here. So have a little bit of everything on this tank, but I think the flow is looking really good, the way it makes all these torches bounce. So you can see, let's see, this one, I don't know what this one's technically called. Emily probably would remember, but this is one I got for 30 bucks. And it's an Indo, and it's kind of a black color with green tips, and I think it's gonna be awesome when it gets big. Pretty awesome now, but it just glows. And then here's the Hellfire. I'm in process, I'm gonna take it down probably tomorrow and cut this little head off down here because it's getting shaded and I'm worried I'm gonna lose it if I don't cut it soon. So that one I'm gonna cut and I'll make it either a grow out or I'll sell it, one of the two. But this one's colors are just coming out so well. And then up here is just it was labeled as an Ultra Indo when I bought it, and it's pretty cool. It's got these long, crazy tentacles, and it seems real happy and a lot of flow. This one is the Master Torch, and it's settling in. This one's taken a while to get used to the tank. It had really long tentacles when we first got it, but I had trouble getting flow to this part of the tank. And so it kind of closed up on me, but it's starting now that I've got the flow increased, because at TCK Corals, they kept this thing just blasted from the videos that I saw. And now that I have the flow up, it seems to be getting happy again and starting to extend some, but the colors are beautiful on it. Also, these clowns tend to host that one, so I don't know if that makes it a little less happy or not. They're not really rough on it though. They're pretty gentle, and they pretty much host underneath, kind of down here, not so much into the tissue of the coral. So I really don't think that's the problem. Then right here, this one's called the 24K, and it's an Indo, and it's very similar to the one next to it, which is the 21 Tails from Cherry Corals. But if you look, this one really doesn't have the purple base. It's just pure gold. And then this one has a lot of purple in the base when the flow hits it. Let me go over here and show you. When the flow hits it, you can see there's a lot of purple in the base. And maybe even some green in the mouth. So, pretty cool. 21 Tails is one of my favorites. And then this one was another one that was labeled as an Ultra Indo, and I think it's becoming one of my very favorites, because if I zoom out a little bit, you guys can just see how bright that thing is. And this is not any editing or anything to make it look brighter. It really is that bright. And the colors on it, it's just so vivid. I think I would call it, I don't know, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I know that this one I would say is a lower grade Hellfire. And then I think this super bright one is maybe a high grade Hellfire, but I don't know. I've heard Hellfire has to have a green mouth, but I don't know. This one was sold to me as a Hellfire and it doesn't have a green mouth either. So it could be that someone lied to me, or it just could be that they can come in many different variants. I'm not sure. Anyway, they're both beautiful. Then as we move down, this one's the Aqua SD Holy Grail, and it is starting to split into 3 heads. Like it's 2 heads now, but they're not fully split, and then each head seems to be forming another head. So it's not as fluffy as it was, but it's still pretty cool. Definitely a bright torch. And it never gets the really long tentacles like this one does. That's kind of the difference. This one, some people, I think it's real similar to the last Holy Grail I had, which was the TSA Holy Grail, but they call it Master Torch from TCK. This one has the purple tips, and it's a brighter green. And I don't know, there's really no torch I have that's even close to the brightness of this one. This one's really bright too, but just a different coloration. I guess they're both similar brightness level, but this one's in the green and yellow variant, and this one's more of the gold. And as we move down, this one is my Cherry Corals New York Nicks, and it's starting to split into two heads, and I really like this one. I'm anxious to see it grow. I think it's one that as it grows bigger, you're going to see the color come out of it a lot more. And it's got this pretty awesome green mouth. So I think as it gets big, that's going to be cool. And then over here, just around the side, this one is the Cherry Corals Golden Torch, which is pretty similar to some of the others, but his variant of maybe a dragon soul. It looks a lot like the 21 Tails, but its gold does not go quite as deep down into the base. And it's not quite as bright. This one is just an Indo Green. I got it from Cherry Corals. I don't think it's anything special, but I like it. And then over here, I got this one from Lazy's Frag House, and he calls this a Jade Torch, and I think he has another name for it now. It's got someone's name in it. It's not a Todd's Torch, but he had something similar. Anyway, I forget what he called it, but when I bought it, he called it a Jade Torch. And I've got 2 more heads of this in the frag tank, but it's super bright, much brighter than that other Indo Green. I don't know if this one's an Aussie or an Indo, but it is really bright. And then up here is the TCK Ultra Long Tentacle. And when I got it, it had super long tentacles, but it was deflated for almost 2 or 3 weeks. Like it had long tentacles, but it just wasn't very fluffy. But since I put that MP10 back here, it's really started to open up again, and it seems pretty happy now. And I think the only one I left out was this one over here, and that one, I can't remember what that is. It's an Aussie Torch, and if Emily were here, she would for sure know the name, but I can't think of it right now. It's not a Rasta. Grim Reaper. It's a Grim Reaper torch. So that's all of them. They're looking really good. Oh, and we've got 2 tangs in here, although the yellow one will, actually they'll both eventually get moved out. This Flame Angel, so far he's been really good. He came out of my anemone tank, and I've had him for years, never seen him pick at coral. And then I put the yellow tang in because we got this new little purple tang, and the purple tang was getting kind of picked on by the wrasse and the Flame Angel for a bit. So and he's tiny, so I put the yellow in just to kind of even out the aggression. Ultimately, this purple will go in the big tank. The yellow will probably get sold. I tend to rotate tangs around a lot. I have a tang in most of my tanks, and I buy them captive bred, and I grow them, and I'll put them in this tiny frag tank, and then as they get too big for that, I move them around, and eventually I sell them. But the purple, I got him from New York Aquatics, which I have never done before. They had kind of mixed reviews when I looked online, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to try it or not, but my thought was he only charged me $100 for this purple tang. I think shipped it was $135, which is a pretty good price for a purple tang. And I don't know, some people said he was rude and gave bad reviews, but he was communicated very well with me. By email, we set up a date, and I had no issues. This tang came in healthy. I sent him through the tank transfer quarantine process, and he has just been a great little fish. I'm excited to have him. So I think I will definitely be purchasing from New York Aquatics again, and we'll see. But I could have bought, even if he had kind of not honored, he has a 14-day warranty. Even if he didn't totally honor it, you can buy 3 of these for the price of what Live Aquaria would charge you. So I don't know, I felt pretty good about trying it, and I was really impressed. He packaged it well. I had no complaints at all. So I recommend, if you guys ever want to fish and see him, his prices are phenomenal. I'd sure give it a shot, because it worked out for me. Anyway, I think that's it for now. Let me know if you guys have any questions. I am gradually we're getting there with this tank. I've started dosing the Moonshiner, and it is really turning out to be pretty. Just a very cool tank. So let me know what you guys think. Please like and subscribe.